Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Pin and today we're going to take a look at the Drakes Corsair, a ship that will hopefully be with us by the end of the year, maybe, fingers crossed, who knows. It has moved into production and it's a ship I'm very much looking forward to get my hands on. Built to be an explorer from the ground up, so there's a lot to talk about there, and it is a competitor from Drake to the Rob Space Industries Aquila. Do like this ship. I think it was one of the first concept ships I ever bought. Plenty of weapons. It looks cool. It's all very asymmetrical and wonky, and I kind of like that. I kind of like the look of this thing. The wing design. And at the front, for me, it kind of resembles a praying mantis a little bit in my eyes. And who doesn't like them? They're cool. So yeah, it's going to be a exploration ship with some super firepower, which will undoubtedly be coming in useful in the future when you're out and about in the verse. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the features of this particular ship. Asymmetric convertible wing configuration, maximum adaptability to unfamiliar atmospheres and combat situations. As I said, love the wings, it's really cool. Just like its predecessor, the F4U Corsair, which had gull wings, that was also awesome. Afterwatch remote turret, watch your back and send pursuers reeling. Then we have rear ramp cargo vehicle storage with enough room for a ground exploration vehicle and or bounty of cargo. The Corsair's hold is vast and versatile. Onboard facilities take exploration into the next century with top flight crew quarters and a full complement of state-of-the-art scanning suites. That's important, that bit. Missiles. 4 starboard wing mounted missile racks give you mean you're ready for whatever threat may lie past the next jump. I can't talk today for some reason. On board, we just done that one, so now we need to look at, I think it's this one here, isn't it? Yeah. What's this one? Wing weapons. Wing mounted size 4 cannon mounts create a hellstorm of firepower, I can imagine. So already it's looking pretty aggressive, this ship. Bow mounted weapons take ship to ship combat head on with 4 adaptable cannon mounts. I will. Believe me, I will. Fired from the pilot, which is nice. And then here we have the port and starboard man turrets. Protect your flanks and send marauders to a rebellious grave with a broadside barrage. Nebulous grave, sorry. So overall, she's packing. This ship, yep, she is packing a punch, and very cool looking thing though from Drake. I do like it. Now, when it comes to the interior, from what I've been reading and some of the clips I've been diving into to find out a bit more about this ship, it would appear that this ship will be borrowing a lot of interior sort of flavour from the Caterpillar. So if you own that ship and you plan to get a Corsair, then you'll be very happy with what you're going to get, because it will be very similar to what we have on screen now. So a lot of oranges, very minimalistic, bare bones, industrial, absolutely no comfort sort of vibe to the Corsair, which I actually like, because it's just brutal, you know. It's just, if it doesn't have a purpose, it's not going in. That's sort of Drake's whole philosophy when it comes to building ships. So I do expect it to be borrowing quite a large amount of its interior design from the Caterpillar. So you'll get the same sort of yellow and steel, cold space vibe to the Corsair, which, you know, it's not for everyone, but I don't mind it. If it functions, then what's the problem? That should be a Drake catchphrase, sponsored by Pin. Yeah, maybe I should write. Anyway, so that's the kind of thing you'll get in theory. That's my theory. Nothing's proven yet because it's not here, but I think it will be very similar in design to the Caterpillar, in terms of design language, etc. Okay, moving on then. So what we have here are various areas of the ship. So we have crew cabin, and it's all private for the crew, which is nice. They all get their own secluded area. Top right, we have galley, kitchen, dining area. Then middle left, I think that's the cargo area towards the rear of the ship, where we might just squeeze in a rover. And I mean squeeze in a rover. From what I've seen, that looks like that's going to be quite a challenge getting in and out of one of those. On the right middle is, I think it's like the engineering station where a lot of engineering scanning stuff's going to take place. Then we have another image bottom left of the galley area, and then as you can see bottom right we have the dude stood outside the adjacent cabin areas for the crew. So very simplistic, very easy to navigate through this ship. I can't see any particular reason why you might struggle to find your way around. But I think this central column here that's on screen now, and as you, top left, you can just see how tight that rover fits in there. So all the components, scanning stuff, it's all going to be here. It's going to use civilian and industrial components, so no military components. I like the ease of getting to this area, okay, but I'm also a little bit concerned because 1 or 2 serious missiles in the middle of that component area, the ship's going to be disabled very quickly. And we know that Drake don't particularly have the best armor, so when we get armor in the game, it will be something to look out for, I fear. Then we have sort of the crew cabin at the top of the screen, and then towards the middle, the sort of galley kitchen area with various monitors. So all very useful stuff, very functional, as we would expect from Drake, right? And then we have the front of the ship here, dripping in weaponry. Very big cockpit, dripping in glass. Now, when it comes to the turrets, I can't see these functioning like they are on screen now. I do think they are going to have to come out like the Hammerhead, because if you look at the breech of the weapons, so towards the rear of the weapon, they're not going to be able to look left or right without clipping the circle that they're placed in. So I do think they will pop out. And then we have this interesting cockpit layout. So similar to the Cutlass Black, except for it does have a party trick. And the party trick is the co-pilot will get in, and then the seat will then drop down to a secret area. Well, it's not really secret, but it just sounds better if I say secret area, and that seat, co-pilot seat, will drop underneath the pilot, which could be very useful. And here we can see, I just don't think, I mean, that's a tight fit for the rover, very tight fit. But yeah, so here we have a better understanding of how the cockpit's going to work. Okay, so on the left hand side we have co-pilot's just jumped in the seat, and then when he's doing things it will drop down underneath him. That's cool, I like that. Would be nice if he gets to operate the weaponry and let the pilot just concentrate on flying the ship. I'm sure he will have access to all the weapons and various other bits and bobs to do on board the vessel. But that's a very cool design. On the right, you can just see how much asymmetrical development there is in this ship. Everything's wonky, but spaces out pretty well, I feel, in the interior. So at the rear, a vast and versatile, yep, we saw that, 72 SCU in cargo, okay. Take exploration to the next century with top flight crew quarters and a full complement of state-of-the-art scanning suites. Which it needs to be. Unlike the Aquila, which is a variant of a ship, this has been designed from the ground up to be an explorer. Advanced personnel quarters include full kitchen, washroom facilities, and private berths. Berths, that's okay. And then we have the bridge, captain's quarters just behind the bridge, so if things go wrong, you can immediately jump out of there and go take control of the situation, which is pretty handy. Again, very functional. So it's shaping up to be a good ship. Now let's take a look at some of the details and statistics of the Drakes Corsair. Okay, let's get into some of the nitty-gritty, shall we, with some of the space nerd stats, which are the following. So length 55 meters, width 56 in flight, so wings out, 27 when landed. Height 31, landed 11 meters. So that's just the chassis, I'm assuming there, without wings. Mass to be confirmed. Flight speed to be confirmed. Seats or stations 4, 72 SCU. Weapons, hardpoints 2 times size 4 or size 3 gimbaled. Wing left side 4 size 5 or size 4 gimbaled at the front, which is pretty devastating, I think you'll agree. 2 turrets with 2 size 2 guns, side coverage. 1 remote turret with 2 size 2 guns, rear coverage. And we have 4 times size 4 missile rack right wing, 2 size 3 on each. Countermeasures, chaff and flare. Jump drive, 1 medium. QT drive, 1 medium. Thrusters, 2 main to be confirmed. 12 times for maneuvering thrusters. Power plants times 2. Armor medium, life support medium, fuel tanks 2 times medium, and a QT fuel tank of 2 times medium. So fairly respectable. Very similar in components and size to the Aquila, its direct competitor. So I think the ship's going to perform well, and I've already had some scenarios in my head of how I'm going to implement this, especially as I own the Odyssey. And I don't intend to melt that ship anytime soon, but I do still have plans for my Corsair, because it is, quite frankly, it is a brute, okay? And I do think that in atmosphere, it will certainly handle better than the Aquila, or in fact any Connie. I would expect it to, with the amount of wings it's got. Time will tell, however. I could be wrong. The Connie does have all those various VTOL thrusters. Now here we have some of the concept images. This ship has gone through multiple phases, and I thought some of these actually look really cool. So the one in the middle, sort of top middle, I actually really like the look of that. It's a little bit square, a little bit bulky in places, but I kind of like the look of that middle concept they drew up there. But yeah, as you can see, it's been through multiple concept designs, and on the top left, for me, that is what the Super Hornet should have looked like. Or if they do another variant of the Hornet, it should look like that, because that thing looks like a beefcake. Obviously not the same size, but fighter size, but that sort of chunkiness, that'd be really cool. Here we have some images of the various colours, and I've put that bottom right concept image in because I just can't help but feel that that is how the Super Hornet or another variant of the Hornet should look in the future. Because look at it. I want that in game, please. Really like that. With regards to the skins that you can see here for the Corsair, I actually quite like the yellow. Never thought I'd say that. The black and the yellow, but the yellow does look very cool in my eyes. So we can't really talk about the Corsair without talking about the Aquila. Which one's going to be better? Well, the Aquila's definitely got some nice sensory to it, sensors, and it's trusted, and it's a very popular ship for good reason. It can also pack a punch. It will have a hell of a lot more missiles than the Corsair. But you know what? It's a variant of a ship. This hasn't been designed from the ground up to be an explorer, so I expect the Corsair to have certain advantages over the Aquila. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to wait and see. But I do think the Corsair should have an edge, if I'm honest, if it's built to be an explorer. Now, how I would use it is, let's pretend I'm out exploring in my big Odyssey, and I've landed somewhere that's in the middle of nowhere, and I want to take a ship out to go patrolling in this new territory that I've found. I'm not going to take the Odyssey or my Hornet tracker to do that. I'm going to take this ship because it will have fairly good, decent range to it, and if it falls into some sort of situation where there's combat involved, then it's going to be able to handle itself, and if not, it will more than likely be able to run away bravely. So that's the sort of scenarios I had in my head for the Corsair. Very much looking forward to it. But what do you guys think about the Corsair? Do you have one? do you want to get one? How do you plan to use it? Is the Aquila better in your eyes? All very important questions, I think. So let me know, guys. I'm always interested. I do read them all. So what I've got on screen now is some of the Q&A for you to read through if you're interested or wanted to know any more questions about the ship. I've put it on the screen for you now to have a little read through, so you don't have to go trolling around looking for it. But yeah, very much looking forward to this ship. A shorter video today. It's not the massive ship that we normally do on this channel. So a bit of a shorter video. But however, the next one will be the Misk Endeavour, which is going to be a big challenge. And yeah, so stand by for that. So that's my video on the Corsair, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what buttons to press, and I'll have more Star Citizen content en route to your location very soon. Cheers.